We employ around 10 million people in the area of services and only about 5 million people in the area of industry, although Turkey is known as a country which has large amounts of industrial goods production and exports. Last year, we were able to attract 29 million tourists, and in 2002, when we first stepped in as the government, the figure was only 18 million. So in about 8 years, the figure increased from 18 million to 29 million people. And right now, we are number 8 in the world in terms of total tourists visiting our country. But as I said at the beginning, sustaining the tourism, sustainable tourism, is a very important concept because we have to be very careful about the cultural heritage of our country, and this is valid for all countries and all least developed countries as well if they want to sustain the tourism sector, and also being very, very careful on the environmental side. Because if enough attention is not paid to cultural heritage and environment, then it is almost like killing the chicken which gives golden eggs. So we have to be very, very careful so that people continue to visit. Another important factor is, of course, the political stability and security aspects. Because people, when they do their vacations, when they visit countries, they also want a peace of mind. So securing political stability and preparing good security conditions is also an essential part of our work towards tourism. I believe that this conference brings about a momentum for international community to provide more effective international support to LDCs on their path towards sustainable development and poverty reduction. It is important to note that enhancing the capacity of least developed countries in services trade, particularly in tourism, is at least equally important as other priority issues, such as development of productive capacities, enhancing development aid, export-based diversification, and promotion of South-South cooperation. We can find many differences in the holy books of humanity, but among others, if one particular phrase is to be mentioned that can be help the needy and defend their rights. Therefore, in our collective strive for rescuing LDCs from the many problems that they have, it is not only an economic or political requirement for us, but also it is a moral imperative. So what we are doing as Turkey is not only do reforms in our country, political reforms, economic reforms that we were able to implement, but also share our experiences with many countries. Right now, we have development projects in more than 100 countries around the world, and our official development aid budget in 2010 exceeded $1 billion. We are especially concentrating on education, healthcare, but also concentrating on technical training as well. Technical training, especially in the area of agriculture, technical training in the area of services sectors, so that what we have done in Turkey and our experiences of the last 8 years is shared with more and more countries. Our total GDP over the last 8 years increased from $230 billion to $736 billion. Our exports increased from $36 billion to $132 billion. And despite the crisis, last year's growth rate was 8.9%. and we are one of the few countries in Europe where budget deficit and public debt is not a problem, and we are the only country in OECD which did not have any problems with its banking sector. So not only in the area of tourism, but in other areas as well, we have good experiences. We have also some experiences, some mistakes which can be learned from, and we are ready to share these experiences with many countries. And thank you for your attention.
Yes, if you'd like, you can speak from there, or you can speak from the podium.
Deputy Prime Minister Ali Babakan, my dear friend, Director General of the World Trade Organization, another WTO, Patricia Francis, Executive Director of the International Trade Center, a sister or a brother organization of WTO and UNCTAD, very close-knit family. Last year we were together, as Patricia was saying, in Chongqing in China, talking about export for goods and also the role of China, the rise of China to one of the top exporting countries of the world. I just got information from our dear friend who was there in China as a host, Mr. Bo Xilai, also a good friend of Pascal and all of us here, who is now the governor and party secretary of China in this spatial zone, spatial autonomous zone of Chongqing. That I think he likes the the meeting that you organized so much last year, that he's doing another meeting probably a few months from now, also in Chongqing. Actually, it shows how much Mr. Bo Xilai is slated to be one of the future leaders of China, and it shows how much leadership around the world appreciates the work that Patricia has been doing together with the staff of ITC, and how much Pascal and I certainly hold Patricia very much in high regard with the kind of reform and the leadership that ITC has been taken up in difficult times. In difficult times, throughout all the crises and all the turmoils in the past couple of years, to have actually established the role of the private sector in helping us overcoming some of these adversities so efficiently in the past few years deserves a lot of commendable words. Yesterday, at another session that I took part, it was another friend of ours, Huan Somavir from ILO, who was the fifth speaker. He was the fifth speaker. And when he started his speech, he said, "Everything has been said by everyone else, but not by me." So he was going to repeat all this that has been said, and the Deputy Prime Minister has kindly and thoughtfully said everything that needs to be said about tourism and LDCs, that I don't find a niche in there to fill in what I would say. And of course, my colleagues from UNCTAD has written me something like 10 pages of notes, which I cannot read because all the figures, again, Deputy Prime Minister have used all these figures. The size of the tourism in terms of the share in the global production volume, the importance of tourism for the LDCs, same figures we have. Of course, more than half of the LDCs are now depending on tourism as the main sources, and And we were Deputy Prime Minister was saying the same thing. 7 LDCs have tourism's earnings revenue as the largest source of income. I just have one niche to add, one small thing to add, that we have seen that in the 3 LDCs that have graduated or going through the process of graduation, Cape Verde, Maldives, and Samoa. Cape Verde, Maldives, and Samoa. Tourism function as part of the engine for graduation. Very crucial, very crucial. I add this to the whole array of statistics that has been produced by the Deputy Prime Minister. And more than that, the 10 LDCs, I'm sorry if I'm hitting some of the soft spot, because I don't know whether all the LDCs would like to graduate or not, but I keep putting up the challenges for the LDC to graduate. So I'm saying that for the 10 LDCs that we have actually